Android games that support high frame rates are few and far between. Even our favorite Android games with demanding graphics have inconsistent frame rate caps, so if you're looking to test out the screen on your new Android gaming phone, you'll need to look elsewhere to find these games. Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is still going strong with regular updates and content drops. While the game is a must-play for Pokemon fans, the addicting cycle of collecting the Pocket Monsters can appeal to everyone. Pokemon Go offers a native refresh rate setting, but on testing, we found this caps out at 120 Hz. While this is more than enough, it's a shame that it can't take advantage of phones with even higher refresh rates. Fractal Space HD. Fractal Space is a 3D puzzle game reminiscent of the Portal games. However, it's a completely unique experience. It's a relatively short game, but don't let that or the simplistic graphics put you off. Fractal Space HD is identical to the free version, except it supports 120 FPS gameplay. It does not add new content beyond graphical improvements, but it is available on Play Pass if you find the price hard to swallow. Minecraft. Minecraft is often heavily modded to push desktop computers to their limits. While the modding scene for Minecraft on Android is lackluster, it still offers a way to push your phone's hardware to the max. An unlimited Framerate setting limits the game to what your phone's hardware can handle, but be warned. This is an experimental feature. However, there's no better way to test out your gaming phone than by cranking Minecraft settings to the max and seeing how many frames you can squeeze out of it. Dead Cells. Dead Cells pixel graphics might not be as demanding as others, but its fast-paced gameplay takes full advantage of high frame rates. Its unlimited frame rate cap means that most phones can handle it at their maximum refresh rate. It's especially noticeable on 165 Hz devices like the Asus ROG Phone 6 Pro. You can pick up the full title for $10, and while that's high, it's one of Android's best games that easily pushes the bounds of high frame rates. So make this one of your first downloads on a new gaming phone. The Bonfire 2. Uncharted Shores. Another fantastic game without a frame rate cap. The Bonfire 2 is a brilliant survival city-building game that is a perfect way to relax after a long day. Like Dead Cells, you won't be pushing your phone's hardware much here thanks to simple graphics. But it means you'll never be distracted by frame skips or laggy gameplay since all the power can go towards the high frame rate. Hearthstone. Hearthstone is best experienced on a large screen, and if you pick up one of the best Android tablets, you'll be able to run it at up to 120 FPS in its full glory. It's grown a lot since its release, so if you haven't touched Hearthstone in the last couple of years, now is a perfect time. There are multiple ways to play to accommodate all kinds of players, and its competitive scene is as vibrant as ever. So no matter your skill level, you're covered. Alto's Odyssey. Alto's Odyssey is a stunning game that deserves a high frame rate. Maxing out at 120 FPS, you'll be able to speed through the desert on your sandboard without a hitch. Like Dead Cells, the graphics aren't going to set your phone on fire, but the fast-paced gameplay benefits greatly from the high frame rate cap. We recommend trying out the Zen mode to sit back and relax while enjoying the beautiful scenery and chill tunes. Mindustry. A mixture of factory building and tower defense, Mindustry will keep you occupied for hours. Later levels involve thousands of entities moving around the screen, so some Android devices may not be able to hit the 120 FPS cap. But for those with more recent hardware, you'll be able to grow your factory to colossal proportions in the sandbox mode without a drop in frames, making for a buttery experience. Oddmar. Oddmar is a gorgeous adventure game that is perfect for your next RPG. The latest gaming phones can easily handle this charming game at its highest frame rate of 120 FPS. It's free to download, but you'll need to pay $4.49 to unlock the whole game. It's well worth it, though. From the absorbing story to challenging puzzles, there's a reason it's one of our favorite platformers on Android. Grim Valor. A gritty RPG platformer, Grim Valor is Oddmar's dark twin. You'll chain together attacks into brutal combos as you adventure through the world, but thanks to the intuitive controls, it's as easy as breathing. Graphics are a bit more intensive here, so some phones may struggle to hit the 120 FPS cap. But for those that can, you can enjoy the stunning graphics while experiencing silky gameplay. Eternium. Eternium is an ARPG inspired by classic titles. Gameplay is relatively fast-paced, so you'll make full use of the 120 FPS cap as you tear through packs of enemies. It's a little bit simplistic compared to some of the deeper ARPGs out there, but its repetitive gameplay shouldn't put you off what is one of the best RPGs on Android since it's made for chilling instead of crunching endless numbers. Plague Inc. A 120 frame rate cap might sound unnecessary on a game like Plague Inc., but it's a classic game that deserves a place on this list. Over a decade old at this point, it's still as addicting as ever, and it's still being updated with new content. The latest update, The Cure, flips the tables. You'll race to stop a fatal disease from spreading, developing new tactics to combat its spread. Don't Starve. Don't Starve will run it up to 120 FPS. The quirky, ink sketch animations may not seem to necessitate such a high cap, but the last thing you'll want is to be distracted by low frame rates in this fantastic survival game. Don't Starve. Shipwrecked will also run at high frame rates, another reason to pick up the tropical expansion. Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty. Mobile is the best FPS game on Android, and it's got graphics to match the brilliant gameplay. However, it's tailored to run on all devices, so you can adjust the graphics setting to suit any phone, including the frame rate setting. Call of Duty Mobile can run up to 120 FPS, but you'll need a powerful device to handle it. Many people claim it's easier to win at multiplayer shooters with a high FPS, so if you're looking for that edge, crank the frame rate setting to maximum. World of Tank Splits. This team shooter puts you in control of various historical tanks, but it's not just a game for history buffs. World of Tanks Blitz offers some of the most strategic gameplay in an online shooter. Charging straight at the enemy will do more harm than good. Best of all, it offers some brilliant graphics for your gaming phone to utilize. World of Tanks Blitz has a frame rate cap of 120 FPS. While the gameplay isn't as fast-paced as other shooters, it's still a great way to experience this brilliant game. Reaching a game's frame rate cap is a great way to test your phone's hardware. But don't limit yourself to intensive games. The best games on Android include many titles that prioritize gameplay over graphics.